Everybody, Hannah Dreadful here. Welcome back. This is my second ever YouTube video. My first one was the welcoming to my channel, and it just kind of gave you a little bit of information on what this channel is going to be about, and that's basically going to be me telling my story and my memoir as I've written it thus far. Just to give you a little idea of how long and how far it's came, it actually started with this little guy, comp book. You see all the fancy decorations on it, and it got turned into quite a lot more than that. So I'm gonna try and minimize my videos so they're not so long every time, versus what I tried to do on Facebook, which was different. Just to try and keep your attention and to keep you wanting to come back. So basically what I'm going to do is start reading you guys some of what I've written as a memoir about what truly has happened to me in my life. And I'm hoping that out of this, somebody will be inspired or be able to make the right decisions and not make some of the mistakes that I did, basically. So you've seen what it originally started as, and it looks way better in color, but unfortunately I don't have the color copy. Right now, this is my cover title of the book, and it's called Organized Chaos. So let's just go ahead and get started, shall we? And I'm sorry if you hear a dog barking. My dog is going crazy at the moment. Welcome to my humble abode. Anyways, this is a true story, a memoir of sorts about myself, Hannah, or at the time when I started writing it, known as inmate number 0Y1034. That's right, inmate. The events described in this are what I can still account for to the best of my ability, and most of these entries were written on different days and in very different moods, so my apologies for the unorderly fashion. As well as attempting to detail my life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I started to write this during my time as a state inmate, at which I will not dispose of the name. Some of these entries describe thoughts and feelings during my time being incarcerated, to give a feel for what it's like to be inside these walls. So, just so you guys know, again, this started out, obviously, when I was incarcerated, and I have been working on it ever since, and finally started typing it up from this version. And every time I go back and read it, I just remember more and more. So I've been able to edit and add content since I first started doing this. So I dedicated this, and it was definitely inspired by my favorite little man, and that would be my nephew Elias. He actually wrote me a letter when I was in county and said that I have plenty of time on my hands now, and I have always talked about wanting to write a story about my life, so why not do it now? And that's kind of how it started. So let's go ahead and get started. The first entry was actually dated back on a Saturday, May 28th of 2016. And I don't really have it separated into chapters yet, so this is where people can help give me advice if you'd like, or criticize me. I'm sure that'll happen too. But I guess you could call this the first entry or the first chapter. And it starts from the beginning like any other book. And it basically goes like this. I thought I had been pretty hard on myself before all this legal trouble came into play, but that didn't even come close to how I was feeling about myself after just 3 months of being confined to an 8x10 cell, all of which I had to share with a variety of complete strangers, and nothing to do but sit around staring at each other or think all day long. One can only endure so much reading and letter writing every day. Even if you feel the urge to keep at it, there is always some form of obstacle in your way. For instance, I ran out of paper to write on plenty of times, or envelopes to send the letters out. But how about when you run out of people to write to, things to say or talk about, or people willing to listen and take the time out of their busy lives to reply back? Up until now, I was never much of a reader, and now I devour novels 2 at a time. I sit here struggling to find the good in all this chaotic monotony that I've grown slightly accustomed to. And then I catch myself and think that this is still hard to believe, that this is and will be what my life consists of for up to the next 2 years. I still anxiously wait for someone to pinch me so I can wake up from this awful nightmare. Or where is Ashton Kutcher when you need him to jump out at any given time to yell, "You've just been punked"? Sadly, that never happens, and in my case, the number one reason being all boils down to what I used to consider a minor blemish of a seemingly normal life. Sure, looks can be deceiving. On the exterior, I was a small-town, innocent country girl. Little did everyone know that deep down inside, this decent enough, at the time, 25-year-old, I'm now 29. That gives you a little time frame there. There was complete and utter torture, pain, anger, and agony ready to erupt at any given time. It was hard to pinpoint any of these emotions if you were an outsider looking in. I discreetly hid and camouflaged the painstaking and shattering truth. What could that truth be? Well, if you may ask, to put it bluntly, I am and was a heroin addict. Truthfully, overall, a junkie. And on again, off again, human disposal can, mainly with the opioid family, and any real downers like benzos or Xanax. I like being brought down super low, but don't get it twisted. When I use the phrases human disposal can, I am not exaggerating, and I'm not. I've had my share of binging on the stimulant/speed category more times than I can account for, whether it be cocaine, snorting, or injecting, smoking crack, which I got addicted to on several occasions throughout my life, doing Adderalls, trying bath salts, or even toying around with the monster, i.e. meth, crystal, snorting, powder form, smoked it, you name it. I've pretty much done it all. I've also had my time with Molly, Mary Jane, ecstasy, acid, Special K, ketamine, for those of you that don't know, horse tranquilizers, yeah, shrooms, and all kinds of prescription pills. Pretty much I would try anything at least once, especially if it was being offered to me for free. Why though? Why would anyone want to ingest, inject, or even eat any form of these foreign chemicals? I was open to just about anything that had a promise to help me in my escape from my reality, even if it was just for a short while. I can't honestly tell you when the feeling or need to escape began. I mean, the first time I dabbled with any drugs, I was 13 years old. And honestly, nothing of huge significance has occurred yet that would push me into the arms of this dark world. I did get the urge to fall into the arms of the older boys, though. But I'm getting ahead of myself a bit, so let me backtrack for a minute. In order for me to describe my past use history and all I've experienced in the drug world, I must delve deeper into how my spiral downward into addiction began, tragedies I've had to overcome, and the debilitating effect drugs have had on my life and on my physical or emotional health. I also have to admit at times I feel as if none of what I'm trying to explain or portray in my writing will make any sense to anyone else. I'm sure you will notice at times my writing seems to be all over the place, making my bipolar tendencies quite noticeable since my mind usually runs a mile per minute. So one must try to understand the inner workings of my mind. So please bear with me as I take you on a journey into my psyche, trying to hit on all the most important life-changing events that have helped me shape who I am today, while also detailing all my true emotions and at times very honest opinions and thoughts on different situations and circumstances. I've found in doing so, it's become an almost like cathartic process for me. So without further ado, now it's truly the beginning. And that's where I'm going to leave off today, because I don't want to overdo it like I've done before, and my dog is starting to go crazy, if you can't already hear him. So I am going to go for now, but thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment below.